Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be making the 59 Solid Janeiro jet set. This is what it looks like when it's done, and I think it looks really accurate. Here is the original design of what it looks like, and in today's video I will be showing you how to make it. I've made this one in the past and you guys requested a tutorial, so here it is. And when I say you guys requested it, I really mean it. Like, look at how many of you guys wanted this. There are 4 different designs you can do today, so there's 59, 62, 68, or the 40, but it's completely up to you. I did the 59, but you can do whatever you want. Let's get into the tutorial. We're going to start by making the body mist. This is what it looks like in real life. The things you need to make it are a clear sheet of plastic, a purple permanent marker, some scissors, a white paint pen, a pencil, some stuffing, and some white card, and finally some clear tape. I'm going to put some alternatives for all of these supplies on the screen right now. And now let's start making it. I'm going to start with this clear sheet. I'm going to color it in with the purple Sharpie. I have finished coloring in the piece of plastic and I will put the measurements on the screen. Now I'm going to cut it out. Now the plastic is cut out, I'm going to draw the details on the bottle with this paint pen. Now I have drawn all of the details on with the white Posca pen. I'm going to shape it into a tube shape and secure it by using tape. Now it is shaped into a tube shape. This is what it looks like from the front and this is what it looks like from the back. On the plastic, I drew a circle in the size of the bottom of the tube. I'm going to color it in with the same pen and I'm going to cut it out. I made 2 of these. Now I'm going to use tape to glue these onto the top and the bottom of this tube. Once I've attached the top and the bottom, this is how mine turned out. Now we're going to make the lid and the spray using this white card. I cut this small strip of white card and I will put the measurements on the screen. I'm going to roll it into a tube and then attach it with tape. This is what it looks like, and now I'm going to attach it to the larger tube. Now this is what it looks like. Bringing back the white card, I'm going to make another strip the same size as the last one. This is how it turned out. Here is the lid for the tube. I'm just going to bend it in half a little bit so it feels like a normal spray. And now I'm going to attach it to the tube. This is what it looks like. Now I'm going to bring back the larger tube and the stuffing. I've got a small amount of the stuffing and I'm going to place it in the hole at the top of the larger tube. Now I'm going to get the small spray tube and I'm going to place it on top of the stuffing. Now you should be able to press the tube down to create a pump. You may need to add more stuffing or take out some so that it works. Finally, we're going to make the lid for the tube using some white card. Here is the final strip of card to make the lid. The measurements will be on the screen. First, I'm going to roll it into a tube shape. Now the card has been rolled into a tube shape, I'm going to create another circle to go on top. I'm going to use tape to attach the circle to the tube. Now the lid is finished, I'm going to put it on top of the rest of the body mist. This is how the body mist turned out and I absolutely love it. I think it looks so realistic. And the pump works so well. So part 1 of this project is officially finished. Now let's move on to part 2. Just to let you know, this portion of the video will be spoken by voiceover because when I was filming there were some builders outside and they were being really loud. Okay, hope you enjoy. Now we are in part 2 of this set. We were going to be making the body cream. This is what it looks like in real life. Now I'm going to show you the supplies that you will need to make this on screen. Here are the supplies you're going to need. So you're going to need clear tape, a ruler, a pencil, a gray pen, some white paper, some purple paper, some white card, some scissors, and some thin cardboard. Mine is from a cereal box. I'm going to put alternatives for all of these supplies on the screen right now, so pause the video and have a look. Okay, so I'm going to start by cutting out a large strip of card. I will put the measurements on the screen. Now the card is cut out, I'm going to put paper over top of it. Now it's cut out, I'm going to use double-sided tape to stick it to some purple paper. This is how it turned out. Now I'm going to cover it in tape. Now it's covered in tape, I'm going to shape it into a tube shape, similar to the size of the pot of the body cream. This is how mine turned out and I'm so happy with it.
To create the base of the cream, I drew a circle on some card and then covered it in tape and purple paper. Next, I attached the ring and the base with some tape. So this is what it looks like once the base is attached to the ring. Now, I wasn't sure how to create that curved base that the original cream has, so if you guys have any ideas, please let me know in the comment section. Next, I'm bringing over the sheet of white paper and I'm going to scrunch it into a ball until it looks like this. Now I'm going to put it inside the tube of body cream to represent the cream. I'm really happy with this technique as it looks so accurate. Now we're going to switch out the tube of cream for the strip of cardboard. We're going to use this to make the lid. First, I'm going to coat it in white paper. This is what it looks like once it's been covered in the paper. Now I'm going to draw on the design. The design is quite simple, so it's not too hard to draw. Now I've drawn on the design, I'm going to cover the sheet of paper with some clear tape. Now I'm going to shape it into a ring shape so it fits the size of the tube. This is how it turned out. I attached the two ends with some tape. Now I'm going to draw another circle for the top of the lid and cut it out and then cover it in white paper and draw it on the design. I finished making the lid and I covered it in more tape. Now we're going to attach it to the ring that we made earlier. Now the lid is finished, I'm going to bring back the tube of cream. I put the lid on top of the cream and now it is finished. I think it looks so good and so realistic. Now we're going to move on to part 3, making the body oil. Now we're in part 3, we will be making the body oil. This is what it looks like in real life. Here are the supplies you're going to need. Some clear tape, a ruler, a cardboard tube, some purple paper, some double-sided tape, a white paint pen, a pencil, and some white card. I'm going to put alternatives for all of these supplies on the screen right now. And I almost forgot, but you also need some plain card. This is the same thin one that I used earlier. You also need some scissors. I'm going to start with this purple sheet of paper. I'm going to cut it to the right size and I will put the measurements on the screen. Now on this piece of paper, I'm going to write on all of the details that the original bottle has on it. This is how it turned out. Now it's finished, I'm going to cover it in clear tape so it's really shiny. I think it looks so good. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in this cardboard tube and I'm going to wrap this piece of paper around it and I'm going to use double-sided tape to attach them both. This is how it turns out and I think it looks amazing. Next, I drew 2 circles on this piece of cardboard and I will put the measurements on screen. I'm going to cut them out. Now they're cut out, I'm going to cover them in purple paper and tape. Now they've been covered, I'm going to attach them to the top and the bottom of the tube. Here is the tube with the top and the base on. Now we've got to make the lid. To make the lid, I'm going to start with this white strip of card and I will put the measurements on the screen. First, I'm going to coat it in tape. This is how it turned out. Now I'm going to roll it into a shape of a ring to make the lid. This is how it turned out. Next, I drew a small circle on the sheet of white card and I will put the measurements on the screen. And then I drew the smaller circle inside the larger circle. This will give the illusion that the bottle will open. Now I'm going to coat it in tape. Now it's coated in tape, I'm going to attach it to the ring that we made earlier. Now that the top is finished, I'm going to bring back the original tube and I'm going to attach the top onto this part of the tube. This is how it turns out and I think it looks amazing. Now we're going to move on to part 4, making the case, and let's go. Before we move on to part 4, I'm just going to check that we've got 3 pieces in this set. The cream, the spray, and the shower oil. Now let's move on. To make the bag, you're going to need a ruler, some scissors, some clear tape, a lot of clear plastic, and a printer. And of course, all of the parts from part 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to start with the clear plastic and I'm going to cut out 2 identical squares. Here are my 2 identical squares. I will put the measurements on the screen. Now, from the same plastic, I'm going to cut out 3 identical strips. Here are the 3 identical strips. I will put the measurements on the screen, and these are going to be the base and the 2 sides. So now I'm going to attach these 4 pieces together. I will label them on screen. I've attached these 3 pieces and now they should bend like this. I hope that makes sense. To find the printed out back piece, I went onto Google search and then scrolled down for a while. I came across this picture while scrolling and I'm going to print it out. I cropped it to size. I put it on a free document and it's roughly the same size as the back piece of the case. Now I'm going to print it out. This is how the print turned out. Now I'm going to cut it out. Here is it now, it's cut out. I'm going to bring back the piece of plastic that I haven't stuck to the others and attach the printout to it from the back using tape. So this is what it looks like from the front, and that's what it looks like from the back. I turn this sheet over onto its back, and this is how the normal piece of sheet works. So I'm going to tape down here to here so that these two are together. Now they are taped, they should bend like this. I'm going to turn the whole sheet over. Now I'm going to connect this end with this end, and I'm going to do that by bending this piece up, that piece over, and then this piece is going to come onto here. Now that the two sides are attached, it should form a little tunnel, and it should look like this from the back. Finally, I'm going to get this edge piece and fold it up and attach it there, and on the other side. Now all three sides are attached. It looks like this from the top. Now I just think that this looks amazing. Now just to let you guys know, I am sorry if that was hard to understand in any way. I am not very good at explaining things, but I tried my best. So now you should be able to put the products in. And we are very almost done. We just have to create the lid so that the products don't fall out. I want to create a lid which is easy to get the products like in and out of the case, but I still want it to be like easy to make. So I'm going to grab a piece of this plastic. I cut it out and I will put the measurements on the screen. I'm also going to tape along this edge so it's not sharp when we're putting our hand in and out. So now I've taped along here, it is less sharp, and now I will attach it to the original box. So I'm going to tape along this side, that side, and the other side, and then it should be attached. Now this is all attached, the box is done. So now for the final time, I will put the products in. And now the set is finally done. I think it looks so good and all of the products are fully functional. You can still take products out and put them back in. And they work great. So thank you so much to all of the people who requested me to make this. It has truly been so fun. And I love to see how you guys engage with my content. If you would like to see any more tutorials, comment them down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!